matters is that pretty much everybody is ready for change, and that you can use that gigantic collective opening, energetic consciousness opening. Again, someone else's vision of what that looks like and what that means may not match in always yours or mine. Doesn't need to. What it does do is it allow us all to change and shift and vibrate in the version that we vibrate with, and that perfectly matches us and the timeline that we experienced to get there, right? It's going to be different for everybody. And this is something I've heard before, from Seth and really from Bashar, that, in general, different versions can inhabit the same sort of general ball of reality construct. If there's a clearly divided enough version to where they're not in the same version anymore, then there is actually a probability split where there's just two completely different probabilities, which is where the earth is going. I mean, we've talked about this. You can't continue having a foot in both camps. Those days are over, and their split is here. It's coming. It's happening, and we can be inhabiting the new version. And what we're watching then is the dregs of the old version disappearing in the version I inhabit. Someone else may be inhabiting a version where the earth isn't even changing yet, and it's going to be holy heck to live in for a little while. But that's not where you or I have to vibrate in and experience. Oh, there's so much to be said about that.
Yeah.
So should I say that? Do you all, anybody that's watched the last couple back, and you all here, do you remember the example I gave of that when clear fresh water flows in, it's lighter, less dense than salt water, and so if you're swimming in water like that, because there's actually a lagoon like that on the Big Island of Hawaii, that if you got your snorkel mask, you can actually see the lines of water. And I used the example, imagine that both lines are fat for this example, both bands are fat, that if you're a fish swimming down in the lower band, where maybe there's scarcity and lack, and fish are attacking each other, and they're eating each other, and they're beating on each other and fighting each other, and then that the upper band it's not like that at all. There's cooperation, there's abundance, everybody is getting along, and it's all synchronous. Everybody's living their life and being their self and creative, and it's all wonderful. So what happens is, as we raise in our vibration out of that lower band, and so you're swimming in the upper band. Seth actually talked about this in terms of streams within a river. It's that same idea. You can look down and see that that other band exists, that other strata exists, where the fish are beating on each other. You're not there. You're not living that way, but you're there, and you can see it going on, right? The thing is, what came to me just a morning or two ago, just really clearly, is right. And the more you raise into that higher vibration, the more you're not even looking down to see that other band anymore. You know it's there. You're aware that it exists, but you're no longer fascinated with it and going, why are those awful people doing that? And why are those awful fish doing that? And my God, if that was me, right? Like, that's when you're still closer to the line, right? You're not in that band, but you're still pretty entranced and interested in it. Got it? See what I mean?
Yeah.
The higher we go, the more you become kind of not interested anymore, to where, like, you're aware that it goes on. It's not that you don't have empathy or compassion for people suffering. It's not where you're focused anymore. You're not down there trying to fix it. You're just going where it's not that way anymore, guys, right? And I think this gets into what Bashar, there's so many metaphors you can use. He talked about two train tracks that start splitting, and they get far enough away, you can't eventually even see the other. It's just not that easy anymore to flip, because you can't even see. Well, same thing. The higher you raise in that water column of fresh fresh water, eventually you're not only are you not even looking anymore, but you're so far away from it, you're aware that it theoretically exists, maybe, but it's just not even in there. You can't even really see it anymore. It's not in your experience anymore. Make sense? Bashar talks about, he says that exact way, that these things, they just go away. They're just not in your experience anymore. So there's different ways you can talk about it. And as far as seeing from one water strata, the freshwater strata, into the saltwater strata where they're fighting and killing each other, I think Bashar has used the analogy of, it's like looking through a clear acrylic wall or glass. It's like you can see that going on, but you're not living in it. It's the same idea. But what I'm saying is, the higher you raise, the less and less you're even turning your attention to look back at it. You're not entranced with it. So there really honestly becomes a time, this is going to sound so cold, it's not cold. You don't care anymore. And it's not that you don't care that people are suffering or have compassion. It's that, that's not where the reality is. Where you are now is where the reality is. And you can't force people that aren't there yet to not be in it. You can't. You cannot make people be where they're not ready to be yet. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know that was all going to come out. But I would like to hear from you. What would you like to say or ask or add or to that?
Cathy, that got right to the crux of what I was asking about. That's how I feel. I feel like, yeah, I know that's all going on, and maybe I should be more aware.
Think about it,
But
worry about it, aware of, yeah.
yeah, exactly. But I'm not. Yeah. I send love and compassion and empathy to the world, and I'm okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. That makes me. It's going to sound weird, but that makes me feel better.
Right. No, and it's not a oh well, too bad, sucks to be you. It's not that. It's realizing what you do and don't have control over, and but what can we do? Well, first of all, we can vibrate in the higher vibration, and that's why I did that YouTube about how to be there. The best way to help the world be there is be there, because then you're going to be projecting, creating a world that is there with you, right? You're not going trying to fix what's there and been. You're creating the world that is full of love, and everybody's there with you. And remember that in physics, that observer effect, just by observing, you change something, is what the physicists say, and which is of course true.